Hey guys, how's it going? It's Danconia here, and welcome back to Overwatch. So, this is going to be a bit of a discussion, because there's a few things I want to talk about, and it's going to be more of a general discussion rather than concentrated on one thing. Obviously, we have a lot of meta changes recently. I want to talk, first of all, about Brigitte and her influence with her Shield Bash. There's a lot of complaints about Shield Bash, saying it's too strong. I agree, and it is being nerfed on the PTR, with its cooldown being increased by 1, which I think brings it in line with McCree's Flashbang. The problem with this is I think it's stronger than McCree's Flashbang. For the simple reason is it can go through shields. It can go through barriers, right? So a Reinhardt can actually outplay a McCree's Flashbang. If he's quick enough and moves his shield upwards, then he can negate the flashbang, and McCree stood there like an idiot. Whereas Brigitte, the Reinhardt can't do anything. Nor can Winston. Nor can Orisa if she's not got Fortify up. So I don't think it's necessarily either the cooldown needs to be more because it's less hard to hit, or Shield Bash needs to have some sort of mechanic where it can't go through barriers. And I think the not through barriers is more of a good sort of idea. How would this manifest? Perhaps it damages the barrier. Perhaps it, I don't know, knocks back what doesn't. Perhaps it stuns, but the barrier doesn't go down. Especially for like Reinhardt, who holds his barrier up, whereas Orisa and Winston place their barriers and they stay there until they've been depleted. Because obviously, if Brigitte shield bashes a Reinhardt, he loses his shield, the whole team loses the shield, and the Reinhardt most likely dies, and it's a team wipe, basically, most of the time. Out of one ability that's not an ultimate, which is kind of annoying, let's be honest. So I want to see a change to Brigitte that means that Shield Bash doesn't go through barriers. I think that will be something that will bring Brigitte in line and would make her less strong. It would still make her strong against things like a Tracer and a Genji, and also a Winston, because providing the Brigitte is placed right, then she should be able to stun the Winston. I think it brings her in line, and it gives Reinhardt a bit less of a problem to deal with, because at the moment it's just obviously not very nice to play main tank. That's something else I want to look at in terms of Reinhardt as well. And Winston and Orisa, we need, I think, something that makes main tank much nicer to play. You may see this in a lot of your games, but a lot of people don't want to play main tank unless you get me in your game, because I main Reinhardt. But they said about that the better this season. But I think main tank needs to become enjoyable again. How that would manifest itself, I really don't know. Perhaps making tanks less susceptible to CC. Again, that would be difficult to implement because you'd have to do it by an individual hero basis. But again, that's something we also want to see. Anna's not in the best of places right now, but she is getting buffed, is what she's getting. She's getting her clip increased to 14, and I think what is the most significant thing is that her healing shots will not impact full health HP heroes and will pass through them until it hits something, whether that be a wall, or whether that be an enemy, or whether that be a non-full HP ally. Fantastic change, something we needed to see for a long time, because what's the point in Anna shooting her allies when they're full health? It really doesn't make sense, and it stops her from doing damage to enemies if she could possibly do that. I think this is brilliant. It increases Anna's healing potential, and I think it puts Anna in a slightly better place. She's still got the stun to counteract dive, although dive is not really that strong right now, so I think Anna's going to become fairly good after those changes. Orisa. I expected Orisa to benefit heavily from this new meta, and it's not been Orisa, it's been Reinhardt who's benefited. Now, what's Orisa's problem? You look at Winston, he has the leap. You look at Reinhardt, he has the charge. Orisa has No movement ability whatsoever. So, the biggest problem with Orisa, and it always has been a problem with Orisa, is her movement. Her movement is awful. She's so slow, and that's why she's used with generally Bastion comps and Torbjorns and first point stick around do nothing on Anubis. I think Orisa might need a slight buff to her movement speed. Either that, or I've seen some wicked suggestions about like a gallop. I know where that's going, but something that gives Orisa a bit more movement, because she's in this current meta she's the second worst main tank, but there's only 3 main tanks. Winston's the worst main tank in this meta, but she needs something to bring her in line with, because otherwise she's just not going to get used as much as Reinhardt, really. Whereas in this meta, if she did have some sort of movement ability, you'd have the option of playing Orisa or Reinhardt. But Orisa you only play on certain points at the moment, and it always has been that way with Orisa. Symmetra! Symmetra. We are having a Symmetra rework, as I'm sure you all know. Symmetra is a weird one. She's always been somewhat of a troll pick. Or a pick where you use them on Hanamura first point or Volskaya first point and never ever see them again. Now, Symmetra is going to be totally reworked. And looking at the rework, it's going to change how she's played entirely. She will no longer have a lock-on primary fire. It will be like a Zarya beam instead, which charges over time the more you hit someone. So accuracy with Symmetra could be quite powerful, in fact, which is something we haven't actually seen before. Her ultimate will no longer be her shield gen or her teleport, it will be a 5000 HP infinitely sized barrier. However that will work. Don't even ask me. Her teleport is becoming a normal ability, which is... it just stinks to me of mercy, but we'll see how that works. But I think she can do it outside of spawn now, I think, or something like that anyway. And it has like an uptime, and you can transport certain things through it, like a Junkrat Riptire and a Diva Bomb, which is interesting. Very interesting. Teleporting a Diva Bomb into the backline of an enemy team would be quite interesting. But yeah, and obviously her turrets, they will be 3 instead of 6, and they will be projectile based. She can shoot them to a wall, and they will latch onto a wall and deploy. And she will no longer have shield gen. Very interesting. A massive change to Symmetra, a massive change to how she'll be played. We won't be seeing this quite yet, because I think we're looking at the end of summer for it or something like that, because it is like a massive rework. I mean, you saw how long it took for the Hanzo thing to come through because of all the graphics and the sound effects that needed to be done. And Symmetra's getting this sort of rework. It means she's going to have a lot of that needing to be done as well, if not more than Hanzo. Also, Torbjorn is going to be getting a rework. I have no idea what ideas might be floating around for a Torbjorn rework. Again, he's seen as a troll pick most of the time, and I think this is what Blizzard are trying to get rid of, these troll pick heroes. I don't think you'll ever make every hero viable on every map. I think that's an impossible task. This Symmetra rework still doesn't look like she'll be viable on attack, to be quite honest with you. Her turrets will have a bit more health, you can put them through, but they can be eaten by a Diva because they'll be projectile. So, yeah, I think... and she's moving to the defense category as well. I think that just tells everyone that Symmetra will be a defense hero, but hopefully she'll be more viable to play on defense on different points, rather than just like Hanamura or Volskaya first point. It makes her slightly more viable. In terms of the Torbjorn rework, I have no idea. He'll probably keep his armor packs. He'll probably keep his turret. Perhaps he can deploy his turret at range. Again, that doesn't make much sense to me. Will he have to build his turret like he has to now? Will he be given multiple turrets at level 1 instead of level 2? Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. With Torb, he's just too static. He's too static to play with attack comps. He's too static to play on some maps. So I think they could go down a similar route as they have been doing with Symmetra and make his turrets deployable from distance, but that would mean they couldn't be built upon. So they'd have to be a level 1 or level 2 turret from the beginning. Perhaps with a little bit less health. I don't know. It's difficult with Torbjorn, but his rework will not be coming until probably BlizzCon or something stupid like that. November you're looking at, because nowhere near done with Symmetra yet. They're nowhere near done with Symmetra yet. But that's the end of the hero talk. Let's now talk about the up and coming event. Overwatch's anniversary is on May the 24th. Now, it's May the 12th today. The last anniversary event started on May the 23rd. Assuming it's going to start on a Tuesday, this anniversary will probably start on May the 22nd. If it starts on a Thursday, then it may start on the 24th, which is the actual anniversary. And it ran until June the 12th last year, so you might be looking at, I don't know, another June the 12th end date, because that's a Tuesday this year. Or maybe a June the 14th end date, something like that. So, anniversary is coming up pretty soon. What do we want to see in the anniversary, maybe? We got a heck of a lot of stuff last year. We got the 3 new arena maps, Necropolis, Castillo, and Black Forest. And we got 11 skins. All of them were legendary. We could be seeing a lot of content. But what content do we want to see? Who haven't had skins in a while? Perhaps D.Va? Although D.Va got one in the last anniversary event. Perhaps we'll see a Summer Games D.Va skin. Maybe. And then not have a D.Va skin this time. But I think we can perhaps safely say that Brigitte will get a skin. I think by the end of anniversary, all heroes will have an event skin. I'm talking of Anna. Perhaps an Anna skin? Maybe. I think we're going to see a heck of a lot of skins, because Blizzard seem to, or the devs want to improve an event year on year. 11 skins, perhaps we see like 15 skins, something stupid like that. That would be crazy, right? Are we going to see more dance emotes for the heroes that haven't got dance emotes? I'm talking about Doomfist, I'm talking about Brigitte, I'm talking about Moira. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. I'm trying to remember my hero releases. And if that's the case, perhaps what emotes are we going to get for the other heroes that have already got dance skins? I'd like to see a Doomfist dance skin. I'd wonder how it would look, or what it would be. It'd be quite interesting. So Anniversary should be coming back in the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now-ish. Well, under 2 weeks from now, actually. So, could be a really interesting time. Of course, I know what we all want to see in Overwatch, and that is competitive changes. There are some new systems coming, according to Jeff Kaplan. He did this really weird dev update, which was purely on the Korean Overwatch YouTube channel, but he was speaking in English. Yeah, whatever. But apparently 3 new systems are coming to Overwatch. 2 early summer, he's saying, would be to improve behavior in Overwatch. Sounds like one to how do I say this? To promote good behavior, and then one to obviously sort out the bad ones. What those would be, probably a recommendation system or something like that for good behavior, and then something else. But the key thing is coming perhaps later on, and that is a third system that he is saying allows the player to control more of how they play Overwatch. Talking about competitive there. Please be role select. Please be role select. It sounds like role select to me. Control the way you play. That just sounds like I want to play tank today, so I'm gonna select tank. Or I want to play DPS today. I want to play DPS, so I'm going to select DPS. The problem that devs have always had with this is queue times, because we all know there's an overabundance of DPS players, and no one wants to play main tank. Let's be honest. So maybe it is. We did see a trial of a select system in Mage Yeti Hunt where you could prefer Mei or prefer the Yeti. So maybe something like that is coming. Or just group 2-2-2 together. Just group 2 support mains, 2 tank mains, and 2 DPS mains. Just do it, you know. It would be lovely. It really would. But that's all I wanted to... I mean, I say all, that's a lot of discussion. A lot of things I think are coming in the next 6 months for Overwatch. And if certain things don't come in the next 6 months for Overwatch, it's going to be... I want to say curtains. I don't think it'll be curtains, but it'll be... perhaps beyond repair? Perhaps we can say that because there's a lot of creators already leaving the Overwatch scene because of the way the game is. And it's kind of heartbreaking to see, but it's also understandable. And I just want to see Overwatch great again. Should we do a chomp of Overwatch, make Overwatch great again? But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. See you then!